This is Pokémon Radical Red, one of the hardest Pokémon games ever made. It takes place in Fire Red's Kanto, but it turns everything up to the max, with over 1,000 different Pokémon, Mega Evolutions, and boss battles so difficult, most people have to play with open doc sheets and damage calculators. And today, I'm attempting a Nuzlocke, but this pack of prismatic evolutions decides my team for the challenge. Whatever Pokemon come out of this pack will be my team to take on one of Pokemon's most difficult challenges. And in typical Nuzlocke fashion, we've got level caps, there's no healing in battle, and if a Pokemon faints, they are gone for good. If I lose a battle, it's game over. We'll have 3 checkpoints along the way where I can rip a pack and add a Pokemon to my team. But just to get to the first checkpoint means I have to take down my first Mega Evolution. So in order to have a chance, I need this pack to give me a good spread of typings, and honestly, I hope I can cop a legendary or 2. Alright, let's see who we get. And off the rip! Okay, a Slowpoke. What he lacks in speed, he makes up for in bulk, so let's call him Dial-Up. Okay, next up is Hippopotas. I'll take a decent ground type, let's call you Sandwich. In the 3 slot, it's Budew. I named you Bud Light, and I'm gonna evolve you into Budweiser as soon as possible. Give me one of these ghost types. And in my last common slot, Spiritzy. That's not great. I'm gonna call you Aquadigio. And our first trainer card. Okay, so that means I get an in-game random encounter after the first gym leader. Make that 2 random encounters, but this one will be after Misty. There's 3 options for a legendary here, so come on. Suicune! Okay, we take that. Okay, on to the reverse hollows and rares. Duraludon! Dude, that's a great hit. Steel and Dragon type, now we're cooking. Okay, if I pull the Umbreon here, I get any Pokemon I want. Come on! Okay, Great Tusk is a great pull. Let's call you Thick Tusk. Okay, last card. Lugia or Dragapult? And it's a Sylveon! Not a ghost type. Okay, we're in trouble. Okay, so we got our team at least until after we defeat our first gym leader when we'll unlock our first random encounter. This team has some obvious gaps. No fire, flying, ghost, or electric typings is gonna make certain boss battles brutal. So I took a second to level up our team to the first level cap, which is level 15, and then did a little prep for our first trial by fire. To get to our first gym leader, Brock, we've got 3 mini bosses we've got to take down. Brendan, our visiting Hoenn rival, Lassan, which can be a loose cannon with her metronoming Clefairy, and a gym leader from Johto, Faulkner. Radical Red is all about the boss battles. You can zoom through most every other aspect of this game, but the boss battles require prep and strategy. Brendan's a recurring rival throughout the game, and while he's pretty easy in this battle, by the end of the game he has an all-star team of legendaries and megas to deal with. So our Duraludon, who's not a building, swept the battle with the duo of Rock Smashes. Now for Lassan, Thick Tusk pretty easily takes out her low-sweeping Stuffle and her wish-stalling Audino. But Clefairy can be an absolute wildcard. One random self-destructor explosion is all it takes to lose a Mon. So I switched into the super defensive, not a building, and held my breath. Strength, okay. Made it out unscathed, and scooted out of Viridian Forest to Pewter City, where Brock's gym is actually locked until you defeat Faulkner. Faulkner is actually the first gym leader of Pokemon Gold and Silver, but he's traveled to Kanto to study Mega Evolutions. He's a flying type gym leader, and I'm all out of electric and ice moves, so my plan is to use the only rock move I have, not a building's Meteor Beam, to take his team out. Meteor Beam takes 2 turns to execute, so Rufflet gets a free hit on me, but easily goes down the following turn. For the Volt-absorbing Wattrel, it's just rinse and repeat. See ya, bird. When Flittle comes out, I decide to play it safe by switching into Whiterun, who isn't afraid of Flittle's Calm Minds and speed boosts. 2 bites and Faulkner was on his way back to J-Town. The reward for defeating Faulkner was Roost, which, of course, 0 Pokemon on my team could learn, and that I was allowed to evolve my boy Bud Light. So I pounded that thing full of Pomeg berries and welcomed the King of Brews, Budweiser, to the team. Between Budweiser and Thick Tusk, I wasn't worried at all about taking on Brock, the Rock-type gym leader. My plan was to lean on Bud's Mega Drain to take out Geodude and Onix, and then bring in Thick to take out Brock's wildcard Varoom. Alright, here we go with our first gym battle. Out goes old Freedom Water, and he's ready to full send a Mega Drain. Just kidding, Brock hits an out-of-character early switch into Varoom. Alright, let's bring Thick and bulldoze him into the ground. And back comes Geodude. Instead of switching out, a bulldoze or 2 should do the trick. Self-destruct? crit too? Are you kidding me? Completely forgot that he had that. Thank God I have thickness in, so I feel pretty confident Budweiser would have gotten taken out. I still had enough HP to send a bulldozer to Onyx's way, and he switches into Archon, so I'm gonna bring my steel type out and knock him out with a metal claw. Now I'm just a white run bubble beam away from victory. And with that, we got our first gym badge, so let's add that to our display down here. And now we can level up our team to level 22. But my actual reward for beating Brock is our first random encounter. To make this interesting, I've got Radical Red's randomizer on, so this could literally be any Pokemon. Alright, here we go. Roaring Moon. Dude, that is so clutch. He's a dragon and dark type, which fills in one of my type gaps, and he can learn a bunch of flying moves. So not to mention he's fast and got really high attack. Man, I'm stoked. I'm gonna name him Gibbous. So next up is Cerulean City, and we've got to go through Mount Moon to get there. The problem is Team Rocket's taken over Mount Moon, so we've got 2 mini-boss battles before we can make it to Cerulean City, where a new unlockable ability awaits us. Our first mini-boss is Super Nerd Miguel, which is our first double battle of the game. We also have our first encounter with Team Rocket's Archer, and as early as it is in the game, Mighty N has definitely ended a run for me before. Gibbous is a game changer for us, with spread moves that damage both Pokemon like Incinerate and Breaking Swipe, which makes taking out Thwackey and Moldy Voltorb a breeze. Not a building is really in there to be a defensive wall, and to launch a tactical Rock Smash or two on Super Nerd's HM slave Bibarel, which successfully puts him out of his misery. And all that remains is Sableye, and luckily I've got the perfect counter to him, Bojangles, who comes in for the cleanup. I healed up and got ready for Archer. There's 2 keys to this battle with Archer. Attack Glimmet with a special move so you don't trigger its toxic spikes. And 2, whatever you do, don't let Mighty Inna set up with Howl, which raises its attack. So I led with Dial-Up, who full sent to Confusion and was about to send another until he switched into his Mighty Pup. So I pivoted into my only dark type Gibbous to resist his bite, retaliated with the Jaw Lock, which honestly I thought would OHKO him, and then I immediately panicked when he hit me with a super effective Ice Fang. That could have been so bad, but luckily the Citrus Berry gave me enough confidence to attack one more time, and I took out the main threat. He brought out Glimmet, and knowing all he had left was a Houndour, I brought out Whiterun to send a slew of Bubble Beams to take the W and send us on our way to Cerulean City. Cerulean City is where we can unlock one of Radical Red's best quality of life features, the on-demand move relearner. This ability allows your Pokemon to relearn any move it could have learned up until its current level, which for Pokemon like Whiterun or Roaring Moon means we get to upgrade their current moveset. Most notably, I taught Whiterun Ice Beam, giving me a new typing to attack with. So Misty is normally pretty easy if you have an electric Pokemon, and since I'm all out of those, I taught Thick Tusk Thunder Fang from this gentleman who specializes in different flavored bites as a backup. My main strategy was to lead with a Sunny Day from Gibbous, which would trigger both his and Thick Tusk's ability, Photosynthesis. This renders water moves effectively worthless, so that I really only have to focus on her Clodsire as the main threat. Unfortunately, I wasted too many turns against Protean Frogadier, so that by the time he went down, Sunny Day was effectively over. So Starmie came out and I flipped over to Whiterun, who I knew could eat any of Starmie's attacks. And I planned to snarl Starmie, lowering its special attack. And she read me like a book. Okay, into not a building, and I'm break swiping this Flotation Otter out of existence. In comes Clodsire, and Thick Tusk is the perfect counter because Clodsire's weak to Bulldoze. And Misty's playing the old switcheroo game again. Okay, back into Whiterun, and we're just gonna snarl it until it inevitably decides to switch back into Clodsire, at which point I will switch back into Thick, and I will bulldoze it back to whence it came, leaving her with just a recovery addict Starmie. I switched into Bojangles, who was able to Drain Kiss and Quick Attack its way to our second trophy, the Cascade Badge. With Misty's Tears behind us, we are gifted the TM Flip Turn, a new level cap to work with, and our last random encounter at our next available patch of grass. The problem is, in order to get to that grass, we have to go through one of my favorite mini-boss gauntlets in the entire game, Nugget Bridge. It starts off with a battle against Evil Incarnate himself, our rival, the YouTube algorithm. His ace is a war turtle named Subscribe, and eventually he'll become a mega problem for us. After we smash subscribe, we've got a 5-star trainer gauntlet full of tricky double battles and gimmicky abilities, and it's capped off with one of the most lethal Pokemon in this game. Unless you have a Ghost-type Pokemon, which I don't have. So I leveled up the team to 34, which allowed us to evolve our Hippopotas Sandwich into Bigger Sandwich, and then off we went to take on our nemesis. The algorithm led with Curlia, so I dropped Not a Building on it with a Metal Claw one-hit KO. And then out came his Ninja Turtle Subscribe. He's a mix attacker, so I decided to alternate Snarls and Break Swipes to lower both his attack stats, while he hurled Icy Winds at me, dropping me to -2 speed. I swiped his subscribe button one more time, and that was enough to ensure I wouldn't miss his future videos. Up next is Pawniard, so I switched into Thick Tusk to drive a bulldozer into him, which promptly knocked him out. And all that was left was the algorithm Staravia, who became the lucky recipient of Whiterun's first Ice Wave. Rest in peace, bird. With the algorithm down, it was time to move into our first double battle, Butterfly Catcher Kale. He sent out his Kaleidoscope of Butterflies, which is the actual name for a group of butterflies, so I combo spread attacked them with Incinerate, Snarls, and Break Swipes until Vivillon evaporated, and he sent in his Wormadam. Wormadam launched a Bulldoze that brought Gibbous dangerously into the red, so I panic switched out into Thick, because I wouldn't have been able to post this video if I lost Roaring Moon to a Wormadam. I brought Budweiser in off the bench with the Yachi Berry, giving me some protection from Last Alley's Ice Moves so that I could hit Jigglypuff with some super effective Sludge. Not a Building cleaned up Jiggles with a Snarl, while Budweiser Giggle drained Brown back to the circus. Look out, it's Panic Cell Timmy. This dude sold me all of his Sword and Shield booster boxes because he heard Pokemon was building a new card printing facility. Just kidding, 2 Jaw Locks and a pair of Snarls later, and he was looking into picking up One Piece. On to Lasrelia and her Cheek Pouch Ingredient. Nope, it's her Serene Grace Togetic who walls Gibbous, so I switch into Whiterun. She switched back into Greedent. I switch back into Gibbous, and we do what we would have done in the first place. I send a Jaw Lock, a Break Swipe, I Roost, and a Jaw Lock takes out the Squirrel. She brings out Clam, and I bring out the King of Beers. She hits me pretty hard with an Icy Wind, but I take her out with a Giga Drain. And Bojangles sends her packing with a Drain Kiss. Okay, on to Camper Ethan. This is one of those gimmicky battles where Mabostiff and Salandit are just going to try to status you, and then let Misdreavus come in and hit you with a Pack-a-Punched Hex. Mabostiff hit Gibbous with an Ice Fang, which left him frozen, so I had to pull him out in favor of Whiterun, who of course gets immediately statused. She switched into Salandit, which is an interesting choice, considering it only takes a singular Bubble Beam to knock it out. Back comes Misdreavus, I Snarl, she hexes, Whiterun goes into the red, and I'm lucky the burn didn't take me out. So I flip into Not a Building to close out the battle with the Snarl. And last up in our Nugget Bridge Gauntlet is Team Rocket Grunt. And I wasn't kidding earlier about his Kamala being one of the most lethal Pokemon. His move, Last Resort, has a power level of 140, making it stronger than all of these power moves. So you either bring a ghost Pokemon so he can't hit you, or you kill him in one turn, like Gibbous just did. In comes Gabite, and Gibbous drops a super effective Break Swipe, which drops his attack. But Gabite's Dual Chop is super effective against Gibbous, and I don't want to take any risks, so I switch over to Bojangles and try to take him out with a Drain Kiss. But he switches into a Steel type, Togedemaru, so I switch back into my counter, Thick, who sends back-to-back-to-back Bulldozes to take out the rest of his team. And with that, the Nugget Bridge Gauntlet was complete, making it time for my last random encounter. So what do I need? I'm still looking for a ghost type. I wouldn't hate something that gave me some ground coverage for Lieutenant Surge, but I could also use a fire or flying type for a more long-term play against Erica and her team of grass type Pokemon. And it's Silph, a legendary. I mean, it's a duplicate typing, but honestly, with a base stat total of 580, I don't really care. It also has a really good ability, Levitate, which gives me some ground immunity, and that's gonna come in handy against Giovanni later on. I'm gonna name you Keebler. I added Keebler to the starting lineup and then made my way over to free Bill from his furry suit. And in return, he gave me his ticket to the furry convention on the SS Anne. I couldn't miss that, so I scurried out. But in order to get to Vermilion City, where the SS Anne was docked, I needed to take down one more member of Team Rocket blocking my way. And if I was successful, this battle would unlock another Radical Red ability for my team. He led with Burnt Persian, and I with Gibbous. Gibbous used old reliable jaw lock to OHKO Persian before it could even attack. Out comes Golbat, so I switched into not a building to eat it, and followed up with a Brock Tomb. He switched to his Oink alone, so I switched back into Gibbous. I sent a Jaw Lock and procced a Citrus Berry, but he retaliated with a boosted Body Press, which took me down to the danger zone. I switched into Thick, and then delivered a Brick Break to send the pig back to the farm. Golbat returns? Never mind. And last up was this loaded Dice Octillery. I switched into Budweiser, who I thought would resist most of his attacks, but instead brought me the closest I have come to losing him on. I had to get Budweiser out of there, so I pivoted to Keebler, who should outspeed, and he does. Shout out to Keebler. I narrowly squeaked by unscathed, and I've unlocked the ability pills. The ability pills allow you to switch between abilities, but the only Pokemon that had an ability worth swapping was Dialga, who switched from Own Tempo to Glutton, which made more sense because he was a special attacker. And with that, we set sail for Vermilion City, home of the SS Anne, and the fight where Radical Red stops pulling its punches. Lieutenant Surge marks the first major difficulty spike, terrain boost, optimized teams, and our first Mega Evolution to deal with. If we can take down Lieutenant Surge, we will have reached our first checkpoint, which means we get a relief pack to open to add a new Mon to our team. But before we even get the chance to fight him, we're blocked from accessing his gym by a tree that requires the HM Cut to remove. To earn Cut, we have to clear the SS Anne. And in Radical Red, this ship is no cruise, it's a straight up gauntlet, with 2 tricky double battles and the return of our rival Brendan. We've got our work cut out for us. First up is the ship's namesake, it's Anne and Gentleman Brooks. And my plan was to let Keebler set up with Charge Beam, get to +2 special attack, outspeed everything, and shut down any fire or water pledge combos before they get hit like a freight train. And they doubled into him turn 1. Kidding me? So now I'm panic drain kissing, just trying to stay alive, and it's immediately clear setting up with Keebler is not the move. That dude is way too feeble. New plan, snarl and break swipe until these monkeys forget how to attack. Then clean up with Whiterun and Budweiser, a Bubble Beam and Sludge Bomb, and battle 1 is down. For Sailor Edmund and Trevor, the rule is always the same. Focus on the left side first. The leap isn't a huge threat, and that lets me turn this into a pseudo single battle against Lumineon and Tatsugiri, who are sneaky strong special attackers. So I double into Cramorant, hoping to delete it, and set Keebler up for a boosted confusion into Nidoqueen. Classic mistake, always. Cramorant U-turns, crits Keebler on the way out, and suddenly I'm pulling my so-called legendary elf before it dies to someone's chip damage. In hindsight, not a building was a weak lead. Gibbous probably would have outsped here. Okay, new plan again. Follow up with a break swipe and a bulldoze to drop Nidoqueen. Once that threat's gone, the rest of the board finally starts to collapse. The leap goes down to a Metal Claw plus a Jaw Lock combo. Whiterun comes into Wall Lumineon, and a few snarls later, Fish 1 is cooked. And then Fish 2 goes down to a couple of break swipes, and just like that, we're on to Battle 3, Brendan. Surprisingly, Brendan's biggest threat is Adaptability Crawdon. That ability basically pack-a-punches his knockoffs and Aqua Jets, resulting in huge damage. So my plan was to lead with Gibbous, take out Loudred with Jaw Lock, roost up while Lunatone is in, and then take him out with a pair of bites. Goal was to be as high of HP as I can when Crawdaddy comes in. So far, so good. Okay, Crawdon comes in. Let's send a Jaw Lock. X-Scissor. I absolutely thought I lost Gibbous there. He's gonna Aqua Jet to try to take me out, so I'm flipping into Whiterun to wall it, and then I need to finish him off with a Gust. I told you, Crawdon is an absolute beast. Alright, flipping over to not a building, and a few break swipes later, we've successfully cleared out the SS Anne with a full team heading into our mega duel with Surge. Let's pick up Cut and get ready for our battle. His team gets a terrain boost from Pincurchin's Electric Surge, so my first priority is clearing that terrain with Bojangle's Misty Terrain. Belly Bolt is a real problem too. An electric terrain, parabolic charge, plus its ability lets it heal an absurd amount of HP every single turn. So poisoning it, leech seeding it, whatever you can do to create passive damage is mandatory. Mega Manectric is terrifying, especially if it sets up with Charge Beam. So I've got Thick or Sandwich on standby, depending on who's healthier at the time. Palmont goes down to a bulldoze from one of those two, but Vikavolt is an absolute nightmare. I'm saving not a building just for it, which I hate, but Rock Tomb was my best shot. As I was prepping for the fight, I realized I had a shiny stone, and that means that I can finally do something with Spiritzy. So I do. I evolve it into Aromatisse, which is honestly still bad. And yes, I fully realized I just threw by not using that shiny stone on Budweiser. I didn't even know that Roselia needed one to evolve at the time, but trust me, I know that now. Okay, here we go. Electric Surge comes out and I'm throwing down Toxic Spikes. Oh, and he switches to Belly Bolt. Okay, bringing in Bojangles to send out the Misty Terrain. Dang, that did way more damage than I thought it would. Okay, gonna recover some health with Drankus, and I'm full parrot. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm gonna throw up a light screen and duck out into Budweiser. Leech Seed going out, and now we Giga Drain. Okay, that ends up being really good damage on Manectric. And we go into Thick to send a Bulldoze. He switches into Vika Volt to avoid. I should have seen that coming. Okay, not a building. You're up. Rock Tomb to slow him down. And that Mud Shot does bonkers damage. Okay, this is going poorly. Sandwich comes in as my only other Rock Tumor. And that crit literally saved me. Okay, Belly Bolt's back, and I've literally got Poison, Sandstorm, and now Leech Seed all damaging him. And I've got him right where I want him. Oh, and he switches to Palmont. Freaking full para again? Okay, I know the Ice Punch is coming, but I'm desperate. Yachi Berry gives us one chance to hit him with the Bulldoze. And it delivers. Okay, I'm bringing Sandwich back out to reset the Sandstorm. And, I mean, Hidden Power Grass is just unfair. But I think he's going to go down to Poison this turn. I think a bad Tantrum from Gibbous takes out Pinchurchin. Oh, and it lives on 1 HP. Okay, but Sandstorm saves us. A Poison Belly Bolt means I will eventually win, so I'm snarling it down. And there you have it. It did not go to plan, but we got ourselves a Thunder Badge, a new level cap, and we finally reached our first checkpoint. Okay, so for this relief pack, whatever the last Pokemon card is, will be the Pokemon I get to add to my team. The cards on the left are the Pokemon I desperately want, and the cards over on the right are the ones I desperately do not want. It would be sick if I pulled Team Rocket's Mewtwo right now. Just kidding, it's Baltoy. Okay, here we go. Oh! I mean, that is actually the best pull that we could have possibly gotten, especially with Erica coming up right now. I named our new Ho-Oh Leroy, and with the perfect answer to Erica's team, it was time to set our sights on Celadon City, where our 4th gym leader, Erica, was waiting. To get there, we had to backtrack through Cerulean, cut our way into Rock Tunnel, and pass through Lavender Town. I made a quick stop in the Pokemon Tower to grab Will-O-Wisp, which is going to be a critical part of our strategy for the next few battles. From there, we took the underground path to slip beneath the blocked off Saffron City and popped up right outside of Celadon City, which would become our main hub for the next stretch of chaotic boss battles. My first stop in Celadon was the department store. I immediately bought a shiny stone to atone for my Spiritzy disaster earlier. I handed it to Budweiser so that it could reach its final form, Bud Heavy. With sideburns and a huge jump in stats, Bud Heavy became one of the stronger special attackers on the team. My next decision was Dial-Up. I could evolve him into Slowbro, a physical wall, or use a King's Rock to make him a Slow King, a special wall. Since Leroy and Bud Heavy already had special bulk covered, I went with Slowbro to round out the defense to help me out with Giovanni later on. And finally, I stopped by this building to grab a cup of tea because in Kanto, hot beverages are apparently enough to bribe the guards. That tea let me sneak into Saffron City, where I unlocked one of the most important quality of life upgrades in Radical Red, Dream Patches. Dream Patches are similar to ability pills, except they let you unlock the Pokemon's hidden ability. First, I patched Dial-Up, giving him Regenerator, which heals 1/3 of his HP every time he switches out. Then I patched Whiterun with Inner Focus so he can't be flinched or intimidated. But the most important patch was Leroy. I swapped Ho-Oh's ability from Regenerator to Phoenix Down, which revives it to half HP the first time it faints. Basically a built-in second life, a literal safety net. And that safety net was absolutely crucial for the next fight, because Erica's Electrode is basically a tactical missile. It outspeeds my entire team, clicks Explosion, and deletes anything in front of it. Without a ghost type, the plan was simple. Let Ho-Oh eat the blast and then rise from the ashes. Honestly, Ho-Oh is the strategy. Erica leads Rillaboom, Leroy walls it so I can stack flame charges, roost up, and then try to snowball sweep. The only thing that scares it is Protean Meowscarada's triple axle, so I'll plan to swap into Not a Building, who does a good job resisting its attacks. Alright, let's do this. Like I said, Rillaboom's Drain Punch does basically nothing, so I'm good to send a flame charge. Whoosh, that actually does too much damage. I'm trying to get to +3, so I need to stall a turn and let it heal up. So I drop a worthless roost, letting it recover enough health to take another flame charge. And let's take it out with our last flame charge to get to +3. Right on cue, in comes Electrode. I wonder if a dual wing beat will take it out. No. So that means we brace for the explosion? No way! Leroy Thick. Dude literally took a nuke to the face and then just brushed it off. In comes everyone's least favorite Gen 2 starter, Meganium, and I double roost back to near full health, and dual wing beat doesn't take it out, even with the crit. And she gets a crit on me. And now I've got to burn my last roost. These dual wing beats are just weaker than I thought, and I'm starting to really doubt my ability to sweep. Okay, in comes Meowscarada. And this might be a bad play, but I'm actually going to neutralize it with a Will-O-Wisp. Protean Dark. That means dual wing beat isn't super effective anymore, and now that it's burned, I think I'm going to switch into Not a Building. Perfect. Triple Axle did basically nothing, and I'll send another Break Swipe for good measure, and then take it out with Iron Head while it's Protean Ice. In comes her final Pokemon, Mega Venusaur. I figure if I can get a Snarl off, then I can safely switch into Keebler, and knock it out with a Psychic. Earth Power! I freaking threw. Maybe the most unnecessary death. Like, I had a whole team left, and right before I was able to evolve them, literally devastating. I counted afterwards for some solidarity, and it was literally 100% chance to kill, so I just totally threw. Alright, I guess I gotta do it. See ya, Duraludon. Maybe one day you'll become a building, but not on my team. Beating Erica gives us a new level cap and access to a bunch of powerful teams in the game corner. So I leveled up the team, rebuilt some movesets, and did a little prep, because Team Rocket's taken over the game corner basement, and the final boss of Pokemon Scalpers, Giovanni, is waiting for us on a throne of mini-tin displays. But before we can get to him, we've got to deal with 3 of his toughest goons. And these aren't normal grunts. Every one of them has a gimmick designed to ruin your run if you're not ready. Our first battle is against Team Rocket's Doorman, and his goal is to put your entire team to sleep with his Dark Voiding Hypno. Think you can outsmart him with some Chesto Berries? Think again. His partner Aerodactyl is Unnerve, which renders all of our berries worthless. So our only option is to double into Hypno and try to knock him out turn 1 before he puts us to sleep. Rock Slide comes out. No flinch, that's huge. Gibbous drops the People's Hammer on him, and Thick follows up. Okay, our reward for taking Hypno out is Guts Obstagoon. I'm actually not super worried about Aerodactyl, so I'm doubling into Obstagoon with a Break Swipe to drop its attack just in case I don't kill with Brick Break. Ice Punch. I mean, if I don't Break Swipe there, I think Gibbous is actually dead. Thick breaks his brick, and Obstagoon is down. In comes Granbull, and I double switch out into Dial-Up, who's super effective against Granbull, and Whiterun, whose Stab Scald should take out Aerodactyl. And it does. Leave it up to Dial-Up to not dodge the flinch, but we clean up the next turn, and that's 1 down. Down into Team Rocket's hideout we go in search of Giovanni, where our next encounter's with Giovanni's left hand, and it's nasty. He's got a Slacking, normally not a huge threat because of Truant, but it's paired with Glare and Wheezing. Neutralizing Gas removes Truant entirely, turning Slacking into a nuclear threat. So I need to lead with something that can neutralize a neutralizer on turn 1 to reactivate Slacking's ability. I think Keebler's Mystical Power can do the trick, so I lead with Keebler and Thick, who I am hoping can take out Slacking with a Brick Break turn 2. Keebler launches a Mystical Power and it sends Wheezing back to New Jersey. Crobat comes in, so I switch into Ho-Oh, my special wall, and Brick Break does not take him out. Well, I run Protect for this exact reason, so I Protect with Thick and then send a Flame Charge with Ho to knock out Slacking. From there, it's just Crobat and Dipplin, and once Crobat's gone, I can safely rotate in Bojangles and Whiterun to make some applesauce. Up next is Giovanni's right hand, and this is a Tailwind battle. Without a Fake Out Mon, I'm expecting to be moving second almost the entire battle. Tailwind comes out, and Shiftry hits Leroy with a Wind Rider boosted Ceaseless Edge. Spikes scatter across the battlefield. Leroy retaliates with a super effective dual wing beat that goes exactly to plan, and Gibbous gets targeted with Talonflame's Will-O-Wisp, and then gets absolutely decked by a Stab Drain Punch. Luckily, Leroy's dual wing beat proves indefensible again as it knocks out the Poison Frog. Levitating Electros comes in with no weaknesses. I'm gonna bring in Bojangles to chip away at it with Butterfly Kisses. Dial Up comes in to drop some hot water on the Flaming Bird to knock it out. With Town Flame gone, Butt Heavy can come in and drain all his remaining electrolytes. Now it's time for Giovanni, the battle that's ended countless runs for me. Giovanni's gonna try to set up on you. He's got Fillet Away Veluza, Swords Dancing Infernape. Don't forget about the parental bonded power-up punching, Mega Kangaskhan, and a strategy is to normally hide one of them behind an Earthworm substitute. So if you don't bring an answer to each of his Pokemon, you're in trouble. I've got answers, at least on paper. Keebler takes Nidoking, I've got Gibbous who can take out Veluza, Sandwich can break Infernape's Focus Sash with a Sandstorm and then one shot with Earthquake, and I've got Leroy's Will-O-Wisp would give me a chance against Mega Kanga. Here we go. Keebler leads with a Psychic and he switches into Veluza to resist. Okay, here comes the Fillet Away, so I need to one-shot this thing with Gibbous or it could get nasty quick. And Knockoff answers the call. In comes Infernape, who is either going to Swords Dance or Close Combat, so I'm sticking to the plan and sending out Sandwich. Okay, the Sash is broken, and as long as I can survive a CC, Earthquake should do the trick. Get out of here, monkey. So far, so good, but here comes Mama. It's Mega Kangaskhan, and I was honestly shocked not to see it lead with a Fake Out. Power-Up Punch brings it to +2, so this Will-O-Wisp is mission critical to give me a chance. And knowing I've got Phoenix down in the back pocket, I'm gonna try to Roost to get to full health on the Revive. Okay, now it's just staying alive, chipping away with dual Wing Beats and letting the burn do its thing. One smack for Mama and one smack for Baby, and down goes Mega Kangaskhan. Earth Eater Earthworm's up next, and he's almost certainly going to substitute Shedtail. No, he doesn't. Okay, I get a Brick Break off. Oh, here it comes. Super Luck, Scope Lens, Bird with Hat. That Drill Peck hits like a truck. I'm really torn. Do I Ice Beam to take out the sub, or do I give my team a defense boost with Reflect? I might regret this, but based on that damage, I gotta go Reflect. Okay, doesn't look like the Reflect did anything at all, but at least the sub is down. So I'm gonna flip in a Roaring Moon who's defensive and... What? I thought I could survive one hit. Does a Reflect do nothing? Okay, this run might be over. I've basically got no immediate answers. Thick has the most health, so he's in, and I'm just praying that Rock Slide does the job. No, it's not enough. All right, I'm gonna lose another Mon, so it's gotta be Sandwich. He can kick up the Sandstorm again, and maybe I can Protect Stall somehow with someone else. Okay, gotta go back into Thick to try to protect, and that Sandstorm did so little, but he did Sucker Punch, so maybe I can sneak Keebler in for a free Sandstorm hit. Of course, he Drill Pecks. Okay, just praying he tries Sucker Punch one more time. Yes, he does. Okay, I'm not out of the fire yet, and I can't outspeed Nidoking, so Thick has to go down to give Keebler any chance. Psychic has to one-shot or this run's over. Come on! Okay, we're gonna make it out. Flamethrower takes out Earthworm, and it was an absolute bloodbath, but we survived. All right. Your watch is over, brothers. Rest now. I'll see you in Valhalla. Okay, let's regroup. We just lost all of our ground coverage, our only dark type and maybe our most productive Pokemon. So we desperately need to reload after that battle. And we're one major gauntlet away from our next pack-ripping checkpoint. Luckily, this checkpoint is a Destined Rivals mini-pack. So if we can get to it, we're rewarded with all 3 Pokemon from the pack. But to get there, we've got a battle against our arch nemesis, the YouTube algorithm, and is now Mega Evolving Mega Subscribe. And if we crush Subscribe, we're met with the hardest, most RNG-dependent double battle in the entire game. Some call it Brendan's Battle of Betrayal because we're partnered up with our other rival Brendan, and sometimes it just feels like Brendan is trying to throw the battle. And if somehow we make it out of that alive, we come face to face with Giovanni again, and I'm hellbent on revenge after losing half of my team just now. So with the Silph Scope in our possession, we went back to the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town and busted the ghost within to acquire the Poké and access to Silph Co, where Team Rocket has infiltrated the premises in pursuit of something to cure the Blue Ball Blues, the Master Ball. We navigated through the tower, taking down baddies and scooping up new moves until we had unlocked the final door, revealing the start of our gauntlet. The algorithm's been beefing up his defense since we last saw him, You've got Mega Subscribe, who can shell smash his way to a sweep. You've got the like button, who has such a high defensive stat, he's just asking to be hit. And you've got comment down below, who really wants to know what you think of this Let's Play style of video. I'm leading with Whiterun, so I can take out the Staraptor with a beam of ice. Ah, the old U-turn. Okay, in comes Subscribe to wall my attack. But Subscribe hasn't met my boy, the Leaf Logger, the Giga Draft, the Hot Bomb, Bud Heavy, who survives on 9 HP and sends a Mega Drain that one hit KOs that subscribe button. Oh, and would you look at that? It's a like button. And Leroy has something to say about that. Sword Stance, meet Flame Charge. Ha! Leroy lives on 1 HP. That preserves my Phoenix down so I can eat a Sucker Punch, and then I hit that like button with the force of 1,000 suns. Staraptor's back, so I flip into Bojangles, and he flip-flops into comment down below, who tees up a Flare Blitz. Okay, Darmanitan switches back into Staraptor. That means I get to pour hot water on this bird too, leaving it burned. He flips into Jump Pluff, and I flip into my Jump Pluff answer, Dial Up. Dial Up sends a Falcon Punch, which completely overwhelms Jump Pluff. Unfortunately, comment down below returns the favor, delivering a devastating Flare Blitz that knocks out Dial Up. I bring Keebler in, who delivers a vengeful Psychic, eliminating comment down below from the equation, and all that was left was Staraptor, who was no match for Keebler's purple screensaver. The flustered algorithm scurried back to its mom while I said my goodbyes to Dial Up. It was finally time to unleash our secret weapon, Aqua DGO. She's been cooped up in the PC for fear of making this game way too easy, but no more fun and games. Welcome to the starting lineup, and just in time for Brendan's Battle of Betrayal, where I will not be using her at all. I'm bringing with me 3 legendaries, Whiterun, Leroy, and Keebler, who will be paired with Brendan's Masquerain, Exploud, and Mega Sceptile. My strategy is to focus on Ariana's side first, using Suicune to take out Incineroar or Scald, and then be a special wall against Primarina, while Brendan's Mega Sceptile does all the hard work. Once Primarina goes down, I bring in Keebler, who has Flamethrower and outspeeds Ariana's Mega Mawile. Brendan's Mega Sceptile follows suit, and we've taken out Darth Maw before it's even had a chance to attack. Focusing on the left side has its downside though. Gothitelle has been able to sit there unharmed, building up its special attack. I need Leroy for Goldingo and Mega Houndoom, and Whiterun is too low to switch back in, so I have to let Keebler go down to stay alive. A Flame Charge does it, and out comes Mega Houndoom. Leroy delivers a punishing dual wing beat that brings it below half HP, and then Exploud finishes the job with a risky Focus Blast, leaving Team Rocket with a solo Goldingo. Goldingo returns a Focus Blast into Exploud, which wipes out Brendan, but leaves me with the healthy Leroy and a few Flame Charges to put the macaroni back in the box. Team Rocket's in disbelief, and honestly, so am I, that we have to say goodbye to Keebler as he heads off to the big cookie factory in the sky. The odds are completely stacked against us for Giovanni, but it's the last thing standing between us and 3 new Pokemon destined to be on our team. Giovanni's team looks different this go-around. He scalped Sandwich from us, who he's gonna be using to kick up a sandstorm. He's got a Swords Dancing Garchomp, and maybe his scariest Pokemon, Shell Smashing White Herb Torterra. My strategy is to use my team to beat him, and probably sacrificing Aqua DGO. I'm leading with an Air Balloon to Bud Heavy, whose Mega Drain should rock Hippowdon's world. And it does! In comes Mega Kangaskhan, and this is the rinse and repeat strategy from our first battle, where Leroy tosses over a Will-O-Wisp. I mean, Kanga would be +4 without a Will-O-Wisp right now, but Flame Charges have weakened it enough to give it the old 1-2 wing beat, and down she goes. Next up is Garganacl, and he wants to Salt Cure me and then play the stall game, so I need to switch into Bud Heavy and see if I can send it back to the depths of Minecraft with a few Mega Drains. Bud Heavy is just hitting right now. In comes Garchomp, and I need to pivot out. Making its debut, 4 gym badges into the game, it's Aqua DGO. And it scares away Garchomp and delivers a Drain Kiss on Excadrill. Whiterun comes in to Scald Excadrill, and uh-oh, Sword Dances. And that might be the clutchest burn of all time. knocks out Excadrill, and we're down to Garchomp and Torterra. Garchomp comes in and I'm gonna yeet an Ice Beam at it, but it also Swords Dancing and it sends a boosted Earthquake, which is not enough to take out Whiterun, whose second Ice Beam leaves Giovanni with one Pokemon standing between us and our fun pack. I switch into Leroy knowing Torterra is going to Shell Smash, which sharply raises its attack and speed. I feel like I need to get a Will-O-Wisp off so he can't sweep my team, and he outspeeds, proccing Phoenix down. And now I'm starting to panic. Okay, he's gonna outspeed my whole team and I need a clean switch in. I hate it. I think Leroy has to go down. That's such a dagger. Bojangles comes out, and unless I take it out here, I'm starting to smell this run slip away. Another Shell Smash, and Moonblast brings it into the red. Okay, how can I stall 2 turns and let Burn take it out? I've got AGD for 1 turn, but can it take a hit? Yes, it can. Okay, I either let ADG go down or I bring in someone else too. And you couldn't write it better, but ADG is going to Eddie Munson itself so that the party can progress on. Absolute cinema. Thanks for your service, ADG. After the battle, I released Leroy and ADG, and with the team of 3 Stallions remaining, it's time to rip a pack to get back to a full team. Being a fun pack, I think the highest rarity we can get is a rare. So here's the best available. First up, it's Breloom. Okay, we got our fighting back. Let's call you Mushroom Ali. Next up is Snover. All right, our first ice type of the challenge, but we're skewing heavy into grass type now. Let's call you Snow Problem. And our final card is Dottler. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to evolve you into Orbeetle, and I'm naming you Orbi-Wan Kenobi, because you're my only hope. So after evolving Snover into Abomasnow, we had our complete team, and it was time to prep for Sabrina. In my opinion, this is one of the hardest battles in the game, because our Hatterene drops a Trick Room, which makes it so that the slowest Pokemon will go first this entire battle. I've got 0 Ghost-type moves to try to knock her out before she can use it, so it's gonna be a Trick Room battle. Psychic Surge is brutal too, giving her expanding Force users a huge boost. So I'm gonna lead with Whiterun and Orbi-Wan and just try to whittle down their special attacks with a combo of Snarls and Struggle Bugs. We're going with the same strategy for turn 2, except we move last this time. Orbi-Wan takes out Indeedee, and we've brought Hatterene down to -4. In comes a fresh, shiny Mega Gardevoir, and she expands her force, taking out my last legendary Whiterun. I feel like I could have switched out, but I also think expanding force would have killed any other option I put out there. So I'm gonna bring in Bud Heavy, praying it's the last turn of Trick Room. And no, it's not. Down goes Bud Heavy. I'm in desperation mode now, so I bring out Snowprob, who kicks up a Hailstorm, making it so that my Blizzards cannot miss. And Orbi-Wan has the ability Telepathy, which makes it so Blizzard won't damage it. That strategy would have worked amazing if I ever got to use it. As a last stand, I send my final 2 Pokemon out, Mushroom Ali and Bojangles. And at this point, I'm just hoping Hatterene decides to turn on Mega Gardevoir. And even though I take Mega Gardevoir out, it's clear this run and this challenge is over. See you in the afterlife, Bojangles. I had an absolute blast taking on this challenge in Radical Red and also the editing challenge that came with it. Please let me know if you like this kind of video, and if you want to see more, would love to know which pack you want to see next time. Thanks guys, I will see you in the next one.